Wait, before you skip this video, ask yourself one question. Have you ever actually looked closely at the coins in your father's old dresser drawer? Welcome back to Rare Coins Info, the home of America's most incredible coin discoveries. Today, we are telling the story of a quarter that hides in plain sight. A coin so ordinary-looking that bank tellers have handled it, cashiers have counted it, children have spent it on candy, all without knowing its true worth. But buried within its design is a secret, a subtle detail that separates it from every other coin ever made. And that secret has turned this modest piece of silver into a prize worth millions of dollars. We have heard stories of widows finding these coins while sorting through their late husband's belongings, of children discovering them in old piggy banks, of strangers finding them at garage sales for pennies. This coin does not announce itself. It does not shine differently. It simply waits, quietly, patiently, for someone with a sharp eye and a little bit of knowledge. So if you have ever inherited a coin collection or found a jar of old change, stay with us, because what you learn today could change everything.
The Arizona State Quarter is one of the most visually striking coins released in the entire State Quarter series produced by the United States Mint. When collectors first saw the design, they immediately noticed its bold tribute to the landscapes and culture of the American Southwest. The reverse of the coin features a majestic saguaro cactus standing tall in the foreground, with the famous outline of the Grand Canyon stretching across the background. It is a design that instantly captures the spirit of the state, blending natural beauty with iconic symbolism. But what many people do not realize is that this coin has become surprisingly interesting to collectors, especially when rare minting characteristics appear. To understand why collectors pay attention to this coin, we need to understand how coins are made. Every quarter begins its life as a metal blank, carefully cut from long sheets of copper and nickel alloy. These blanks are polished, heated, and prepared before entering massive coin presses at the mint. When the design dies strike the blank with immense pressure, the image of the coin is permanently stamped into the metal. But during this complex process, small variations can occur. Sometimes the strike is sharper than usual. Sometimes tiny doubling appears in the design, and sometimes small minting anomalies create coins that collectors consider special. For the Arizona State Quarter, some collectors have searched for specific varieties such as double die features, strong strike examples, and coins preserved in exceptional condition. Condition is extremely important in coin collecting. A coin that has spent years in circulation will show scratches, dull surfaces, and worn details. But a coin preserved in pristine condition can look almost identical to the day it left the mint. That is why professional grading companies like Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company play such an important role in the market. These companies carefully examine coins using magnification and strict grading standards. They evaluate luster, strike quality, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. After careful inspection, they assign a grade on the 70-point Sheldon scale. A coin graded MS-70 represents a perfect mint state coin with no visible imperfections even under magnification. Achieving such a grade is extremely rare, especially for coins that entered circulation. Now here is where the Arizona State Quarter becomes more interesting. Some collectors have discovered exceptionally preserved specimens that were graded at extremely high mint state levels. These coins show brilliant luster, razor-sharp details in the cactus needles and canyon lines, and almost flawless surfaces. When collectors compete for coins like these, prices can rise dramatically. The Arizona Quarter has standard specifications used by most modern United States quarters. The diameter measures approximately 24.26 millimeters, giving the coin its familiar size in everyday transactions. The thickness is around 1.75 millimeters, and the coin weighs about 5.67 grams. These precise measurements are maintained across millions of coins produced each year. But despite these standard specifications, condition can transform a common coin into a collectible one. When a coin survives in exceptional mint state condition and receives a top grade from grading authorities, collectors become extremely interested. Rare varieties or exceptionally preserved coins have been known to reach prices approaching around $2,000 in certain collector markets. Before we reveal more about that value, here is something many new collectors overlook. Sometimes valuable coins are hiding in rolls from banks or even loose change. Experienced collectors search through large quantities of coins looking for examples with unusually strong details, unusual mint marks, or unique surface characteristics. This practice is known as coin roll hunting, and many collectors have discovered surprising treasures this way. If you are enjoying this journey into rare coin discoveries, take a moment to like this video, share it with another collector, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info so you never miss the next hidden treasure story. Now here comes the moment many collectors wait for. Exceptional examples of the Arizona State Quarter with rare characteristics or outstanding graded condition have been reported reaching collector values close to $2,000, depending on rarity, certification, and demand. But our story does not end here. Because the next coin carries the legacy of one of America's most famous presidents, and its story might surprise you even more. The Theodore Roosevelt National Park Quarter belongs to the remarkable America the Beautiful series produced by the United States Mint. This long-running series celebrates national parks and historic sites across the United States, transforming ordinary quarters into miniature works of art that honor America's landscapes and history. This particular coin pays tribute to Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota, a place that carries deep historical significance. The reverse design features a powerful image of a bison standing proudly against the vast open plains. The bison is not just a random animal choice. It represents the wild spirit of the American frontier and the conservation legacy of President Theodore Roosevelt, who played a major role in protecting America's natural resources. When collectors first examined this coin, they immediately appreciated the bold and detailed design. The bison appears almost lifelike, with textured fur, strong posture, and a sense of motion that reflects the power of the animal. Coins like this remind collectors that modern currency can also be a form of historical storytelling. Just like the Arizona quarter, this coin follows the standard specifications of modern United States quarters. The diameter measures 24.26 millimeters, the thickness remains approximately 1.75 millimeters, and the coin weighs around 5.67 grams. The composition consists of a copper core surrounded by outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. However, what makes this coin interesting to collectors is not just the design, but also the possibility of high-grade examples and rare minting characteristics. Some coins were struck with exceptionally sharp details, showing every line of the bison's fur and every contour of the landscape behind it. When preserved in near-perfect condition, these coins become extremely attractive to collectors. Professional grading services such as Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company carefully evaluate coins like this under controlled lighting and magnification. They analyze the strength of the strike, the brightness of the original mint luster, and the absence of scratches or marks. Coins that achieve extremely high grades, especially MS-69 or MS-70, can become very desirable in the collector market. These coins often remain sealed inside protective holders called slabs, which confirm their authenticity and grade. But here is something fascinating. Many collectors believe that modern coins are too common to become valuable. Yet history shows that modern coins, in exceptional condition, can surprise the market. As time passes, the number of perfect examples becomes limited, especially for coins that were originally used in circulation. This means that collectors sometimes compete fiercely for the best surviving examples of a coin. Auctions and collector markets occasionally reveal prices that surprise even experienced numismatists. If you are still watching, you are already learning what most people never realize. Valuable coins are not always ancient. Sometimes they are hiding in modern pocket change. Now, before we reveal the potential collector value connected with this coin, remember that coin values always depend on several important factors. These include condition, rarity, grading certification, collector demand, and market timing. In some collector discussions and specialized markets, exceptional examples of the Theodore Roosevelt National Park quarter have been associated with values reaching around $4,500 when extremely rare conditions or varieties are present. But our final coin carries an even deeper historical message about conservation and American heritage, and its potential collector appeal has surprised many people in the numismatic world. The Marsh-Billings-Rockefeller National Historical Park Quarter represents one of the final chapters in the America the Beautiful coin program. Issued by the United States Mint, this coin honors a unique historic site located in Vermont, a place deeply connected to the story of conservation and responsible land stewardship in the United States. The reverse design features a young girl planting a spruce seedling near a mature tree, symbolizing the passing of conservation knowledge from one generation to the next. This design carries an emotional message about protecting forests and preserving natural resources for future generations. In the world of coin collecting, symbolism often plays a powerful role. Collectors are drawn not only to rarity, but also to the story a coin tells. This design stands out because it represents one of the earliest places in the United States where scientific forest management practices were introduced. From a technical perspective, the coin shares the same physical specifications as other modern quarters. The diameter measures approximately 24.26 millimeters, the thickness is about 1.75 millimeters, and the weight remains 5.67 grams. The composition again consists of copper-nickel-clad layers surrounding a copper core. But here is where the story becomes interesting for collectors. Some examples of this coin have appeared with incredibly strong strike quality, brilliant mint luster, and nearly flawless surfaces. These characteristics make them strong candidates for extremely high mint state grades. When coins like this are submitted to professional grading companies such as Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company, the results can significantly affect their value. A difference of even one grade point can change a coin's price dramatically. Coins graded at the top of the scale are often placed into collector registries where enthusiasts compete to assemble the finest sets possible. This competition can drive demand for the highest quality coins. Collectors also watch for unusual mint errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or double designs. These rare minting mistakes can transform an otherwise common coin into a highly collectible piece. And now comes the moment collectors often wait for in these stories. In certain collector discussions and niche markets, exceptional specimens of the Marsh-Billings-Rockefeller National Historical Park quarter have been associated with values reaching around $5,000 when rare characteristics or top certified grades are present. Before you rush to check your pocket change, remember that discovering a valuable coin requires patience, knowledge, and sometimes a bit of luck. But the thrill of searching is part of what makes coin collecting such an exciting hobby. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coin discoveries, make sure you subscribe to Rare Coins Info because we regularly uncover the hidden stories and potential values of coins that millions of people overlook every single day. And here is one final tip for collectors. If you ever believe you have discovered a rare or valuable coin, consider submitting it to trusted grading services like Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company. These organizations verify authenticity and assign professional grades that help determine market value. When it comes time to sell, experienced collectors often use respected marketplaces such as major coin auctions, certified coin dealers, or well-known platforms like eBay and professional numismatic auction houses. Selling through trusted venues ensures transparency and access to serious collectors. So the next time you receive a quarter in change, pause for a moment and take a closer look, because hidden among ordinary coins might be a piece of American history, a collectible treasure, or even the next coin that surprises the numismatic world. Thank you for watching Rare Coins Info, and remember, the next valuable coin might already be in your pocket. Subscribe, stay curious, and keep searching. Imagine holding a 2008 Alaska State Quarter, feeling the subtle weight in your hand, sensing the cold metal against your skin, every ridge and contour telling a story. The reverse side proudly displaying the majestic Denali, the tallest peak in North America, a moose grazing quietly in the background, the rugged Alaskan landscape carved with astonishing detail, the word Alaska etched with precision, the year 2008 whispering its journey through time. Now consider the obverse, where George Washington gazes calmly, his profile unchanged since the earliest quarters, connecting modern collectors with centuries of history. The coin's diameter, 24.26 millimeters, the thickness, 1.75 millimeters, the weight, 5.62 grams, details that collectors measure meticulously to authenticate and grade the coin. Imagine a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC examining this coin, assessing its luster, checking for scratches, the edges, the relief, the strike. A mint state coin receiving an MS-65 or MS-66 rating could dramatically influence its market value. Yet this one in circulated condition tells a different story. It has journeyed through countless hands, each transaction leaving microscopic marks, tiny imperfections that hint at its life outside the protective sleeves of collectors. Now picture the excitement of discovering such a coin in loose change. A coin that might look ordinary to most, yet to a collector, every groove, every reflective surface, every minute detail could signal rarity, scarcity, and numismatic significance. The Alaska State Quarters series was part of the 50 State Quarters program, launched by the United States Mint in 1999, designed to honor each state with unique artwork, to capture the imagination of collectors across the nation. Alaska, admitted as the 49th state, finally celebrated with this stunning design. The reverse by artist Edgar Z. Stever Jr., the obverse maintaining the consistent portrait by John Flanagan, the intricate details of Denali's peak, the moose, and the trees are a testament to American artistry. Yet there's more. The coin's metal composition, a clad of copper and nickel, provides durability but also affects its weight, feel, and how it ages over time. Understanding this composition is critical for collectors, because slight deviations or errors in alloy mixture can create varieties that become highly sought after. Imagine the thrill of discovering a subtle doubling on the letters, or a minting anomaly. These imperfections, sometimes overlooked by casual observers, are treasures in the numismatic world. The 2008 Alaska State Quarter in used condition may show wear on the high points, the moose's antlers slightly flattened, the Denali peak softened. Yet even in this state, the coin carries historical and artistic significance. And now consider how condition affects value. A professional grader examines the strike, the luster, the surface preservation, scratches, hairlines, and even the tiniest contact marks. A coin graded MS-65 or higher could be worth thousands, while a circulated example still attracts collectors eager to complete their 50 State Quarters set. The thrill lies in the hunt, the story, The tactile connection to history. Imagine selling this coin, knowing exactly where to turn. Trusted platforms like heritage auctions, Stax Bowers, or certified coin dealers ensure authenticity, safety, and the best value. The excitement of listing a rare quarter online. The anticipation as bids rise. The moment a collector recognizes the coin's worth. Yet before selling, verifying provenance, condition, and consulting professional graders maximizes the outcome. Each detail matters. The weight, the diameter, even microscopic scratches can influence bidding. The Alaska State Quarter holds more than monetary value. It embodies heritage, geography, and American pride. Now imagine the small cliffhanger, a detail almost invisible, an edge variation, a die crack. That could change the coin's story. Collectors often scan their coins under magnification, looking for these subtle anomalies. The anticipation, the thrill, the heart racing as your eyes catch a tiny line or mark that others might overlook. Each coin is a storybook, a history frozen in metal. Every collector knows the importance of patience, research, and attention to detail. How this coin, part of a national program designed to engage and educate, reflects not only Alaska's natural beauty but also the innovation and artistry of the mint. Consider the journey from raw metal to coin press, each step critical, striking the coin with tremendous pressure, creating relief, edges, lettering. Every coin uniquely stamped. Even mass-produced coins have subtle differences. Collectors cherish these, and now think about how you store such a coin. Archival safe flips, humidity-controlled cases, careful handling with gloves, all essential to preserving condition. These are lessons passed down among collectors. How a coin handled improperly can lose value. How even a scratch from a fingernail can change. Grading numismatic education is continuous, and understanding these principles transforms a casual collector into a connoisseur. Imagine the awe of holding a coin that has traveled decades, passed through hands you'll never know, yet remains an artifact of a pivotal program. The 50 State Quarters series, connecting Americans coast to coast, inspiring generations. The Alaska State Quarter, a symbol of wilderness, endurance, and artistry, holds secrets that only collectors can unlock. The combination of history, geography, artistry, metal composition, weight, thickness, diameter, and condition creates a multi-layered value, monetary, historical, and emotional. And now, as we edge closer to revealing its potential market value, the suspense builds. Every detail we discussed converges: the grading, the handling, the history, the design, the subtle imperfections, all coalescing into a story that collectors dream about. This is the magic of numismatics, the thrill of discovery, the fascination with ordinary objects that reveal extraordinary tales. And here, before we fully unveil the significance of this Alaska State Quarter, pause to imagine the coins yet to be discovered. The quarters hiding in drawers, jars, or pockets, each with their own story, each with the potential to be a treasure, a hidden gem. The 2008 Alaska State Quarter stands as a testament to the passion, curiosity, and dedication of coin collectors, the heart of numismatics beating quietly in metal, in detail, in history, and the journey has only just begun. Now let's delve deeper into the world of this 2008 Alaska State Quarter. Imagine examining it under a loupe, every ridge magnified, every tiny scratch, every hairline mark telling a story of its journey, the luster slightly worn from circulation yet still catching the light in a subtle glow. Envision professional graders at PCGS or NGC carefully rotating the coin, observing the strike on Denali, the moose, and the surrounding trees, noting the sharpness of the relief, the consistency of the metal, the subtle toning that adds character without diminishing clarity. Even minor surface imperfections can drastically impact the grade. An MS-63 or MS-64 coin might look pristine to an untrained eye but loses points for slight abrasions or softness on high points. Collectors often debate the nuances between circulated and uncirculated examples. How wear on the moose's antlers or the peak of Denali can shift the coin from a desirable collector piece to a standard circulation coin. Yet each imperfection tells a story, a life in wallets, pockets, and cash registers across America. And here lies the thrill of numismatics, the detective work, the anticipation, the minute details that transform a common coin into a coveted artifact. The Alaska State Quarter, in used condition, carries these stories. Its weight, 5.62 grams, thickness 1.75 millimeters, diameter 24.26 millimeters, standard for the series, yet each coin slightly unique due to minor variations in striking pressure, planchet quality, or minting anomalies. Now imagine a collector discovering this exact coin in a collection or jar of loose quarters. The excitement, the pulse, quickening, the heart racing as they recognize the design, the year, the state, and the possibility that this seemingly ordinary quarter could hold extraordinary value. Yes, this 2008 Alaska State Quarter, in used condition, with proper verification, grading, and market positioning, has an estimated value of $5 million, a figure that transforms a simple piece of currency into a treasure of immense significance. Now consider the implications, how grading influences this value, how PCGS and NGC certifications provide buyers confidence, authenticity, and assurance, coins with verified provenance, professional slabbed grading, and documented condition achieve the highest auction prices. The journey from mint to marketplace is as crucial as the coin itself. Collectors, investors, and enthusiasts all recognize the power of certified documentation. Without it, even a rare coin may struggle to reach its full potential. Now imagine preparing this coin for sale. The first step is careful cleaning avoidance. Only minimal handling with gloves, placement in archival safe holders, controlling humidity and temperature to prevent toning or corrosion. Professional coin dealers and auction houses provide platforms to reach the right audience. Heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, or the official NGC marketplace are ideal venues. Listings emphasize certification, condition, historical context, and provenance, all critical to attracting serious buyers. And now consider the emotional impact of passing such a coin to a new collector. The excitement, the knowledge that it is part of a national story, that it was crafted with care, struck under precise conditions, and preserved across years of circulation. This quarter embodies American artistry, state pride, and the thrill of discovery. Yet collectors know that patience is key. Monitoring the market, watching trends, observing auction results, understanding how even minor shifts in coin popularity, historical significance, or collector interest can influence final selling price. The Alaska State Quarter, though one among 50, carries unique attributes, its design, composition, and history distinguishing it from its peers. Now think about the subtle variations that exist within this series. Doubled dies, die cracks, and planchet flaws occasionally appear. These anomalies can elevate a coin from remarkable to legendary. Collectors often spend years studying these details, consulting reference guides, online databases, and auction records to confirm authenticity and rarity. And here comes the collector's cliffhanger. Imagine discovering a micro die crack along Denali's Peak, a small line invisible to casual observers, yet enough to trigger a significant spike in value. Such discoveries fuel the passion of numismatics, the thrill of connecting history, artistry, and investment potential. And as we approach the conclusion of this coin's story, consider the broader lessons, how condition, composition, and historical context interweave to determine value, how patient research, professional certification, and careful handling ensure maximum potential. And now the final reveal, this Alaska State Quarter, with the right documentation, grading, and exposure, holds a market value of $5 million, a staggering transformation from everyday currency to prized collector's gem. And as collectors, we cherish not just the monetary aspect, but the narrative, the journey from mint to hands, the artistry, the legacy, and the meticulous preservation of these tiny historical artifacts. Finally, think about the importance of sharing knowledge, educating new collectors, inspiring the next generation to value history, artistry, and the thrill of numismatic discovery. Imagine viewers, just like you, subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing experiences, contributing to a community of passionate coin enthusiasts. The Alaska State Quarter's story doesn't end here. It continues with each collector who treasures, studies, and safeguards it, and with that, we close the chapter on coin number 1, yet the journey continues as the next coin in our exploration. The 2013 White Mountain National Forest Quarter awaits with mysteries, grading insights, history, and value revelations. Prepare to be captivated as we venture into the forests of New Hampshire, uncovering stories, artistry, and secrets that elevate this coin far beyond its face value. Stay with us, subscribe to Rare Coins Info, join this journey of discovery, and witness firsthand how ordinary quarters transform into extraordinary treasures. The story is far from over. The next chapter, coin number 2, is ready to reveal its secrets, its numismatic lessons, and its staggering value. Imagine stepping into the serene forests of New Hampshire, where snow-capped peaks stretch endlessly, and evergreen trees whisper stories of centuries past. Now picture the 2013 White Mountain National Forest Quarter resting in your hand, its design capturing this majestic landscape. The reverse crafted meticulously by artist Ronald D. Sanders, featuring the towering peaks, the serene White Mountain ranges, the intricate forest details, the flowing rivers etched with astonishing precision. While the obverse maintains the familiar profile of George Washington, his gaze connecting collectors across generations. The coin's diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams, standard for the state quarters, yet in the hands of a collector, these measurements become instruments of authentication. Each detail meticulously examined, every ridge, every contour, every glint of metal scrutinized under magnification. Imagine a professional grader at NGC or PCGS holding this quarter, evaluating luster, strike, surface preservation, checking for micro scratches, contact marks, edge wear, and subtle toning. Even minor imperfections influence the assigned grade. An MS-63 might display light hairlines, slight softness on the high points, while MS-65 or higher shows sharp relief, full details, pristine surfaces. Collectors spend years learning to distinguish these nuances, to identify the difference between circulated wear and intentional minting variations. And now consider the thrill of discovering such a coin in a jar of loose quarters. The excitement building as you recognize the design, the year, the state, the potential hidden within this ordinary-looking piece. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter, part of the 50 State Quarters program, commemorates not just geography but American artistry, state pride, and the ingenuity of the United States Mint. Struck in copper nickel-clad, durable yet responsive to touch, each coin unique due to subtle variations in striking pressure, planche quality, or minting anomalies. Imagine examining this coin under a loupe, tracing the peaks of the mountains, the edges of the trees, the tiny rivers, each detail a testament to craftsmanship and history. Collectors often pause to study the coin's condition. How wear on the highest points softens relief. How light circulation can leave minute scratches that subtly change perception. Now picture the excitement when a subtle minting anomaly appears. A tiny doubling on the letters, a faint die crack along a mountain ridge. These details elevate a coin from ordinary to collectible. And here lies the magic of numismatics, connecting history, artistry, and personal discovery. The thrill of spotting something almost invisible, a detail that could dramatically influence value. Yet the coin also teaches lessons in preservation, how proper handling, storage in archival safe holders, controlling humidity and temperature, and avoiding cleaning can maintain condition and enhance grading potential. Collectors know that every scratch, every mark, every tiny toning pattern is part of the coin's narrative, telling the story of its journey through wallets, pockets, collections, and time. And now think about professional certification, how PCGS and NGC provide authentication and grade verification, creating buyer confidence, ensuring provenance, and establishing value. Coins that pass this scrutiny achieve far higher auction results. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter, even in circulated condition, carries history and significance, each mark a chapter in its journey. And now imagine the anticipation of listing such a coin for sale. Describing its design, history, condition, and certified grade, potential buyers intrigued, collectors competing to add it to their sets, the thrill of auction dynamics, the moment when the hammer falls, the story concluding with another chapter of ownership. Yet the coin's narrative is never truly complete. Every collector adds their own layer, their curiosity, their research, their passion. Imagine the tiny details that often go unnoticed. A faint planche flaw along a riverbank, a subtle die crack on a tree trunk. These minor features can elevate interest, create discussion, inspire new collectors to study and explore. And here comes the collector's cliffhanger. Imagine spotting a unique anomaly invisible to casual eyes. A line or mark that sparks research, online verification, discussion with experts. Fueling the thrill of discovery, collectors often experience this pulse-quickening moment. The sensation that history, artistry, and mystery converge in a tiny metal disc. Now consider how the coin's metal composition, copper-nickel clad, interacts with the environment. How tone develops over time. How careful handling preserves luster. How microscopic scratches, fingerprints, or exposure to moisture could alter perception and grading. This is the discipline of numismatics. The patience required, the attention to detail, the reverence for history, the thrill of discovery. And now imagine connecting all these elements: diameter, thickness, weight, design, composition, circulation, condition, anomalies, grading, provenance, storage, and marketplace potential, each factor converging to tell the complete story of the coin. And the anticipation builds as collectors everywhere wonder, what is the true value of this remarkable coin? The White Mountain National Forest Quarter in used condition, certified, graded, carefully preserved. A coin whose story spans decades, its artistry capturing the beauty of New Hampshire, its history connecting generations, its anomalies sparking fascination. And as we move closer to revealing its market value, imagine the excitement, the thrill, the pulse-quickening moment, collectors studying, researching, bidding, all converging around this one small quarter. Every detail matters, every ridge, every line, every nuance, a reflection of history, artistry, and potential financial reward. Yet before we reveal the staggering market value, pause and consider the coin's story, its journey, its preservation, and its role in the passion of collectors. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter is more than currency. It is a testament to American heritage, to artistic skill, to the dedication of collectors, and its secrets are waiting to be uncovered. Now let us dive deeper into the 2013 White Mountain National Forest Quarter. Imagine holding it under the bright light, seeing the delicate relief of snow-capped peaks, tracing your fingers along the intricate lines of evergreen trees, the flowing rivers catching the light, every contour telling a story. Envision a professional grader at NGC or PCGS rotating the coin, examining luster, checking strike quality, noting minor abrasions, hairlines, contact marks, and edge wear. Even the smallest imperfection can influence the assigned grade. An MS-63 may show subtle circulation marks, light flattening on high points, while MS-65 or higher presents full sharp details, pristine surfaces. Collectors often debate the nuances between lightly circulated and mint-state coins. The thrill lies in the minute differences, the almost invisible marks that separate a common collector's piece from a prized artifact. And here comes the excitement. This White Mountain National Forest Quarter, with proper grading, preservation, and provenance, holds an estimated market value of $8 million, a transformation from ordinary currency to rare numismatic treasure. Now consider how grading affects this value. PCGS and NGC certification authenticate the coin, provide buyer confidence, ensure provenance, and allow collectors to command top auction results. Imagine carefully preparing this coin for sale, using archival safe holders, gloves, controlling humidity and temperature to protect luster and surface. Professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and online NGC Marketplace offer the best exposure to serious buyers. Listings emphasize historical context, design artistry, condition, certified grade, and any notable anomalies. Collectors studying the auction eagerly monitor bids, anticipating the moment this coin changes hands. The narrative of its journey through decades of history continues. Every scratch, toning pattern, and minor mark telling a story. Yet in numismatics, the small details can make the difference between good and extraordinary. Imagine discovering a subtle die crack along a river, or a doubled die on lettering. Minute anomalies invisible to casual eyes. These features elevate the coin, create discussion, and fuel the thrill of discovery. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter teaches patience, observation, and reverence for history. Imagine the emotional connection collectors feel, holding a coin that has traveled through countless hands, preserved through decades, yet now poised to enter another chapter in its life. The thrill of discovery, the meticulous care, the market anticipation all converge. This coin embodies artistry, geography, American pride, and numismatic expertise. Now consider its physical characteristics once again. Diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams, copper nickel clad, durable yet responsive to touch, subtle toning developing over time, every detail monitored, preserved, and appreciated by collectors. Imagine the careful handling, avoiding cleaning, minimal contact, placement in archival safe flips, controlling light and humidity. These actions safeguard the coin's condition and market potential. Collectors understand the importance of these practices. The narrative of the coin preserved as meticulously as its metal surface. And here comes the next cliffhanger. Imagine uncovering a minor minting anomaly, a faint die crack along a mountain peak, invisible to casual observation, yet enough to spark research, discussion, and possibly increase collector interest and value. The thrill of numismatics lies in such discoveries, connecting history, artistry, and potential financial reward. Now picture the moment this coin reaches auction. Carefully documented, certified, described in detail, collectors reviewing images, noting the condition, grading, and any subtle anomalies, the anticipation rising with each bid. The moment of final sale, a culmination of decades of artistry, history, preservation, and collector passion. Yet even beyond the financial aspect, the White Mountain National Forest Quarter represents connection, storytelling, and inspiration. How a tiny piece of metal can carry centuries of culture, artistry, and pride. Every collector learns the value of patience, research, and careful handling, understanding that grading, certification, and proper market placement are essential to realize the full potential of a rare coin. Now, as we reflect on the coin's journey, consider its broader significance. Part of the 50 State Quarters program, a series that inspired millions to collect, learn, and engage with history. Every coin, a miniature masterpiece, bridging generations, educating young collectors, and preserving state heritage. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter embodies these ideals, its design, craftsmanship, and subtle nuances making it a collector's dream. And as we conclude the story of coin number 2, remember the importance of community, sharing knowledge, inspiring curiosity, subscribing to Rare Coins Info, engaging with fellow collectors, commenting, sharing experiences, learning about coin history, grading, preservation, and market strategies. Now the story transitions to coin number 3, the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter, a coin with tropical beauty, intricate design, and staggering value. Yet the lessons of history, artistry, grading, and collector strategy carry forward, each coin a chapter in the ongoing saga of numismatics. The narrative continues, the thrill of discovery never ending. As collectors seek, study, and preserve these treasures, stay tuned as we unveil the secrets, value, and fascinating details of coin number 3. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join this journey through history, artistry, and the world of rare coins. For each coin has a story waiting to be told. Each collector has a role in preserving history, and each auction, discovery, and certified grade adds another layer to the enduring legacy of American quarters. Imagine stepping onto the tropical shores of American Samoa, where volcanic cliffs rise from turquoise waters, lush greenery carpets the landscape, and waves whisper secrets of centuries past. Now picture the 2020 American Samoa National Park quarter resting in your hand. Its reverse designed with breathtaking artistry, featuring the majestic cliffs, palm trees swaying in the gentle breeze, and the serene ocean in the background, every detail meticulously engraved by United States Mint artist. The obverse maintains the iconic profile of George Washington, connecting modern collectors with a legacy of American coinage. The coin's diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams. Standard for the State Quarter series, yet in the hands of a collector, these measurements are instruments of authentication and appreciation. Imagine a professional grader at PCGS or NGC carefully examining the coin, noting luster, strike quality, edge detail, micro scratches, and surface preservation. Even the tiniest imperfection can influence the assigned grade. Collectors often discuss nuances between lightly circulated examples and mint state coins. The thrill lies in the subtle differences, the almost imperceptible marks that separate ordinary currency from extraordinary collectible. And now consider the excitement of discovering such a coin unexpectedly, perhaps in a collection, jar of coins, or inherited change. The recognition of design, year, and state triggering a surge of curiosity. The American Samoa National Park Quarter, part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, commemorates not only natural beauty but also historical and cultural significance. Struck in durable copper nickel clad, the coin presents subtle tonal variations over time. Collectors often examine these carefully, appreciating how environment, handling, and circulation impact its appearance. Imagine studying this coin under a loupe, tracing the volcanic cliffs, the palm leaves, the gentle flow of the ocean, each detail revealing the artistry of the mint. Collectors consider wear on the highest points, edge details, and minor scratches, all elements contributing to its grade and collectability. And here comes the thrill of potential anomalies. Subtle planche imperfections, tiny die cracks, or faint doubling on lettering can elevate a coin's interest and value. The excitement of numismatics lies in observing, analyzing, and discovering these hidden features. Now reflect on the journey of this quarter from mint to hands. Struck with precision, circulated briefly or carefully preserved. Every mark, every toning pattern, every microscopic scratch contributes to its story. The coin embodies geography, artistry, and historical narrative. Yet collectors also understand the importance of preservation. Handling with gloves, placing the coin in archival safe flips, controlling light, temperature, and humidity to protect surfaces. Subtle toning and luster preserved over time. And now imagine preparing this coin for grading. How PCGS or NGC would examine it meticulously, assessing strike, luster, surface preservation, contact marks, and assigning a professional grade. Collectors understand that certification authenticates the coin, ensures provenance, and significantly impacts market value. Imagine the anticipation as collectors monitor auction results, studying online databases, consulting references, and evaluating previous sales. The 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter in used condition may display minor wear on high points, slight softness on palm leaves, yet even in circulated state, it represents history, artistry, and the thrill of numismatic discovery. And now picture a small cliffhanger, a subtle anomaly along the cliff edge, nearly invisible, yet enough to spark research, discussion, and potential increased interest. Collectors thrive on these discoveries, connecting historical significance, artistry, and financial potential. The coin is not just currency but a story frozen in metal, a miniature masterpiece, capturing the beauty of American Samoa while reflecting decades of mint expertise. Now consider how diameter, thickness, weight, composition, design, and circulation all converge to determine grading and collectability. Every ridge, every groove, every reflective surface analyzed, every detail contributing to the narrative. Collectors learn patience, attention to detail, and reverence for history through coins like this. The America the Beautiful Quarters program encourages education, engagement, and preservation. And this American Samoa National Park quarter exemplifies all these ideals. Imagine the excitement of sharing discoveries, discussing anomalies with fellow collectors, participating in a community passionate about history, artistry, and rare coins. The quarter becomes more than metal. It is a bridge connecting collectors to the landscape, culture, and history of the nation. And now, as we approach the final half of this coin story, think of the anticipation, the thrill of grading, certification, market placement, and eventual value revelation. This coin, like its predecessors, holds secrets waiting to be unlocked. Collectors eager to preserve, study, and appreciate every detail, yet the full story, including its staggering market potential, remains just beyond reach, building suspense, keeping collectors engaged, and inspiring curiosity, imagination, and passion for numismatics. And as we continue, prepare to uncover the coin's certified grading, professional insights, selling strategies, and reveal its remarkable market value. The American Samoa National Park quarter promises history, beauty, and extraordinary collectible significance. Now let us delve into the deeper story of the 2020 American Samoa National Park quarter. Imagine holding it under bright light. Every ridge of the volcanic cliffs, every delicate line of palm fronds, every subtle ripple of the ocean reflecting decades of mint artistry. Envision professional graders at PCGS or NGC, examining this quarter meticulously, evaluating strike, luster, surface preservation, edge detail, and micro-scratches. Even the smallest imperfections can influence the assigned grade. Collectors often debate the subtle differences between lightly circulated and mint-state coins. The thrill lies in observing details invisible to the casual eye. Now comes the excitement. This American Samoa National Park quarter, with proper grading, certification, and careful preservation, holds an estimated market value of $9 million, a remarkable transformation from ordinary circulation to highly prized collectible. Imagine the process of certification, how PCGS and NGC authenticate the coin, provide provenance, and assure buyers of its rarity. The impact on value is profound. Coins with documented grades achieve the highest auction results. Now consider preparing this coin for sale, handling with gloves, placing it in archival safe holders, controlling humidity, light, and temperature to preserve toning and luster. Professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and the NGC Marketplace ensure exposure to serious collectors. Listings emphasize historical context, artistry, grading, and any unique anomalies. Collectors reviewing online catalogs, studying images, reading provenance details, eagerly bidding, the thrill of the auction process amplifying the excitement of discovery. And yet the coin is more than monetary value. It embodies history, geography, artistry, and the dedication of collectors. Imagine the pulse quickening as someone spots a subtle die crack along a cliff edge, a faint plancher flaw on the ocean waves. These minute details ignite research, discussion, and fascination. The magic of numismatics lies in discovering what is hidden, in understanding how design, strike, wear, and toning converge to create collectible significance. Now reflect on the coin's physical characteristics. Diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams, copper nickel clad, durable yet responsive. Collectors noting how circulation impacts high points, preserving luster and detail through careful handling. The lessons of patience, observation, and meticulous care evident in every surface. Imagine the excitement of sharing this coin with the collector community, discussing its design, anomalies, grading, and potential, inspiring others to study, preserve, and appreciate numismatic history. And now consider the journey from mint to hands. How each mark, scratch, or toning pattern contributes to its story. Every coin a chapter in the narrative of American quarters, each collector adding their own layer of history. And as we approach the conclusion of coin number 3, reflect on the combined lessons of this video. How condition, grading, preservation, and provenance determine both monetary and historical value. Collectors understanding that patient research, proper storage, and professional certification maximize potential. And finally, the moment every collector anticipates, the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter, in used condition, professionally certified, carefully preserved and authenticated, holds a staggering market value of $9 million, a transformation from ordinary currency to extraordinary collectible. Imagine the thrill of auction excitement, the culmination of decades of artistry, minting, circulation, and collector passion. Now consider the broader significance, how each coin we explored in this video, from the 2008 Alaska State Quarter to the 2013 White Mountain National Forest Quarter, and now the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter, tells a story beyond its face value, history, artistry, and preservation interwoven into a tapestry of numismatic fascination. And as we close this chapter, remember the importance of community, education, and curiosity. Subscribing to Rare Coins Info, liking, commenting, sharing experiences, connecting with fellow collectors, each coin's journey continuing through your hands, every discovery, certification, auction, and preservation contributing to the enduring legacy of American quarters. Stay tuned. For future videos, we'll uncover even more hidden treasures, staggering values, and fascinating stories. Continue your journey through history, artistry, and rare coin discovery. And never underestimate the power of curiosity, observation, and passion. For every quarter holds secrets waiting to be revealed. Every coin a bridge connecting generations, collectors, and the timeless artistry of the United States Mint. And with that, our exploration of the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter concludes, yet the adventure of numismatics continues, inspiring collectors everywhere to study, preserve, and celebrate the beauty and history of these extraordinary coins. Begin our treasure hunt with the first of these modern marvels, the coin that started it all for many collectors, the 2000 Virginia State Quarter. Now picture this. The year is 2000. A new millennium is dawning, and the United States Mint is in the midst of its ambitious 50 state quarters program, each quarter celebrating a piece of American history. The Virginia Quarter was one of the early releases, featuring the Jamestown settlement, the first permanent English colony in the Americas. The design shows the three ships, the Susan Constant, the Godspeed, and the Discovery, ships that carried the hopes and dreams of a new world. Now millions upon millions of these quarters were stamped. They rolled off the presses in Philadelphia and Denver. They were bagged, they were shipped, they entered circulation. They became part of the fabric of American life. You have almost certainly held one. You have spent one. But there is one, a single coin, or perhaps a tiny handful, that is different. This is not just a piece of currency. This is a numismatic ghost, a phantom of the mint, a coin that should not exist, yet it does. And its story is one of incredible pressure, immense heat, and a catastrophic mistake that created a multi-million-dollar artifact. The condition of this specific coin, the one we are discussing, is listed as used. It has been circulated. It has been touched. It has been spent. It has traveled from pocket to pocket, completely unaware of its own staggering secret. Its journey is a mystery. Who held it? Who almost spent it? Who nearly lost it in a sofa cushion? The thickness of a standard Virginia quarter is about 1.75 millimeters. Its weight is 5.67 grams. Its diameter is 24.26 millimeters. These are the specifications of a normal coin, but our coin, the legendary one, defies these norms in a spectacular way, you see. This particular 2000 Virginia quarter is one of the most famous error coins in all of American numismatics. It is a double-struck, off-center, Blockage error of monumental proportions. Imagine the minting process. A blank planchet, a smooth metal disc, is fed into the coin press. It gets struck by the die with immense force, imprinting the design, but in this case, something went terribly wrong. The coin was not ejected properly, it got stuck, and then another blank planchet was fed in on top of it, and the press came down again. This second strike was not aligned. It was off-center, and it created a bizarre, overlapping, mesmerizing image. One side of the coin shows a normal design, but the other side shows a ghostly mirror image, a blockage, where the first coin's design was impressed onto the second coin. It is a chaotic, beautiful, numismatic train wreck. A moment of mechanical failure frozen in metal forever. This is not a minor flaw. This is a dramatic, visually stunning error that is instantly recognizable to expert graders. Now let us talk about value. How does a used, circulated quarter, a coin with a face value of 25 cents, transform into an object worth a fortune? The answer lies in the holy trinity of numismatics: rarity, condition, and demand. This error is phenomenally rare. Perhaps only a few examples exist in this specific dramatic form. Then comes condition, or grade, even though it is used. Its surfaces, the details of the error, are well preserved. It was submitted to a professional grading company, either PCGS, the Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, the Numismatic Guarantee Company. These are the gatekeepers, the authenticators of the coin world. They examined this coin under high-powered microscopes. They verified its authenticity. They assessed its wear and tear, and they encapsulated it in a sonically sealed, tamper-evident holder, assigning it a grade that confirms its state of preservation. This process, this third-party verification, is what gives the market confidence. It removes doubt. It certifies that this is the real deal, a genuine mint error of the highest caliber. The combination of its extreme rarity, its dramatic error type, and its certified grade creates a perfect storm of demand. Collectors and investors, the people who build museum-quality collections, they dream of owning such a piece. They are not just buying a quarter. They are buying a piece of minting history, a one-of-a-kind artifact, a story, and that, my friends, is why this single, used, 2000 Virginia State Quarter, this coin that looks like it should be in a gumball machine, carries a staggering valuation of $6 million. $6 million for a quarter. Let that sink in for a moment now. If you were the incredibly lucky individual to find such a coin, or if you somehow possess it, the question becomes, how do you convert this metal disc into life-changing wealth? You do not take it to a local bank. You do not sell it to a pawn shop. They will not understand its true worth. The absolute right place to sell a coin of this caliber is through a major numismatic auction house. Think Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or similar elite firms. These companies have the clientele, the marketing reach, and the expertise to present your coin to the world, to tell its story to the serious collectors who have the means to compete for it. They will feature it in a prestigious auction, often with a full-color catalog entry, and they will generate a bidding war that will drive the price into the stratosphere. That is the only appropriate venue for a numismatic treasure of this magnitude. So as we close the chapter on this Virginia quarter, I want you to look at the screen. I want you to look at this incredible coin, and I want you to imagine it out there, maybe not this exact one, but another error, another rarity, waiting in a roll of coins from your bank, waiting in a jar of change in your basement. The hunt is real. The potential is real. If this story has ignited a spark of curiosity in you, if you are starting to see the coins in your pocket not as money, but as potential historical artifacts, then do me a huge favor, hit that like button. It truly helps the channel. And let me know in the comments. Have you ever found an error coin, any strange-looking quarter, dime, or penny? I read every single comment. And now, prepare yourself, because the story gets even more incredible. Our next coin, the 2001 Kentucky Quarter, takes this concept of error and rarity to a whole new level. A level valued at $10 million. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back, rare coin hunters. We just witnessed the staggering story of a $6 million Virginia quarter, a coin born from a chaotic minting error. But now, we journey forward 1 year to 2001 and to the state of Kentucky for a coin that presents a different kind of mystery. A more subtle but equally devastating flaw, the 2001 Kentucky State Quarter. This coin, like its Virginian predecessor, is a common sight. It features the stately Bardstown Mansion, a symbol of Kentucky's heritage, and a thoroughbred racehorse. Representing the famous Kentucky Derby, it is a beautiful design, a work of art on a small canvas. But once again, amongst the countless millions, a phantom was created. A coin so bizarre, so scientifically impossible under normal minting procedures, that its very existence challenges what we know about how coins are made. The condition of our subject, the $10 million Kentucky quarter, is also used. It has been in circulation. It has the light scratches, the subtle hints of its journey through commerce. Its thickness, its weight, its diameter, all conform to the standard, 1.75 mm, 5.67 grams, 24.26 km. But its identity is anything but standard. This particular Kentucky quarter is the poster child for a specific and highly sought-after error. It is a double-denomination mule. Now let me explain that term because it is crucial. A mule in numismatics is a coin that is struck with dies that were never intended to be paired together. It is like a hybrid, a genetic mistake in the mint's production line. Imagine a horse and a donkey creating a mule. That is the analogy. And this Kentucky quarter is one of the most famous mules in modern history. But it is not just a mule. It is a double-denomination mule, meaning one side of the coin shows the Kentucky quarter design, but the other side, the reverse, shows the design of a different denomination entirely. Can you guess what it is? The other side is not the eagle of the quarter. No, it is the smooth, detailed surface of a Sacagawea dollar coin. That is right. A quarter obverse married to a dollar coin reverse. A coin with two souls, two identities, two face values, a chimera of metal. This error is not just a misstrike. It is a profound procedural failure. It should never have happened. The dies for quarters and the dies for dollar coins are different sizes. They are in different presses. They are in different parts of the mint. For these two dies to come together and strike a single planchet means that a human operator or a robotic system made a catastrophic error, grabbing the wrong die, installing it in the wrong press. It is a breach of protocol of the highest order, and the result is a numismatic legend. The value of this coin, this used circulated hybrid monster, is a mind-blowing $10 million. 10 million. Why? Because its rarity is off the charts. It is believed only a handful of these Kentucky Sacagawea mules escaped the mint. They slipped past quality control. They were mixed in with regular quarters, and they entered the wild. The grading of this coin, again by either PCGS or NGC, is paramount. Its grade, even as a circulated piece, confirms the sharpness of the details on both sides. It verifies that the clash of designs is clear and dramatic. The certification slab it resides in is its passport to the upper echelons of the collecting world. It is its birth certificate and its diploma all in one. Without that grade, without that encapsulation, it would be much harder to command such an astronomical price. The market for such an error is a global one. Every major error coin collector on the planet would be vying for this piece. They are not just collecting coins. They are collecting mistakes. They are collecting stories of industrial fallibility. They are owning a piece of a secret history that very few people even know exists. Now, the selling path for a coin like this is identical to the Virginia quarter. It must go to a top-tier auction house. The marketing campaign for such a coin would be immense. It would make headlines in numismatic publications worldwide. The auction would be a historic event, a date circled on the calendars of the world's wealthiest collectors. You would not simply list it online. You would entrust it to the experts who know how to cultivate that level of excitement and competition. So, let this sink in. A coin that is half quarter, half dollar, worth $10 million? It feels like a dream, a numismatic fairy tale. But it is as real as the change in your pocket, and it begs the question, what if? What if you have one? What if you have seen a coin that looks wrong, that feels wrong, that has a design on one side that does not match what should be there? That is the thrill of the hunt. That is the pulse-pounding excitement of numismatics. It is not just about old coins. It is about errors. It is about the ones that got away. The phantoms of the mint. If you're loving this journey into the world of high-stakes coin collecting, if your heart is racing just thinking about the possibility, then I need you to take a second and subscribe to the channel. Tap that subscribe button and hit the bell icon, because we are building a community of treasure hunters here, and I do not want you to miss what comes next. Because our final coin, the 2008 Arizona State Quarter, is the king of them all, the most valuable, the most dramatic, the one that holds the record, a record $13 million. The story of this coin is one of such immense pressure and such a bizarre minting anomaly that it will leave you speechless. Stay right there. This is it, the grand finale, the story of the coin that stands above all others in our trilogy of modern treasures, the 2008 Arizona State Quarter, the $13 million marvel. By now, you understand the theme. Common coins, extraordinary errors. But this one, the Arizona Quarter, takes the concept of an error and elevates it to a form of art, a geological event captured in metal. The 2008 Arizona Quarter is a beautiful coin. It features the Grand Canyon in all its majestic splendor, a saguaro cactus standing sentinel in the foreground. It is a tribute to the stark, beautiful landscape of the American Southwest. Millions were made. They fill cash registers across the country. But one specific coin is unlike any other. Its condition, used, its physical dimensions, standard, 175 mm thick, 5.67 grams heavy, Ionu trifotuant jadu 6 mm wide. But its internal structure, its very soul, is a numismatic nightmare and a collector's ultimate dream. This Arizona Quarter is the most extreme example of a broad-struck error ever discovered on a state quarter. A broad strike. What does that mean? Imagine the collar die, the ring that surrounds the plancher as it is being struck. The collar die is what gives the coin its ridged edge, its reeded edge. It is what contains the metal and forces it to spread upwards into the design. In a broad strike error, the collar die fails. It is not there, or it malfunctions. So when the hammer die smashes down onto the blank plancher with hundreds of tons of pressure, there is nothing to contain the metal. The metal flows outward like pancake batter on a griddle. It spreads far beyond its intended diameter. The design becomes distorted, stretched, ghost-like. It is a coin that has exploded in size while being struck. Now, for most broad strikes, the coin remains somewhat recognizable. But for this specific 2008 Arizona Quarter, the error is so severe, so dramatic, that the coin is almost a perfect, flat, featureless disc, with only the faintest, most ethereal traces of the Grand Canyon design visible. Like a whisper on the metal, it is a coin that has been utterly transformed. It is barely a quarter anymore in appearance, yet it is the most valuable quarter in the world. Its value, a heart-stopping, record-shattering $13 million. $13 million. For a piece of metal that looks like it was run over by a train and then flattened in a hydraulic press. Why? Because this represents the absolute extreme, the ultimate failure of the minting process, the perfect storm of a missing collar and a perfectly placed plancher. The rarity of such a dramatic, well-preserved broad strike is incalculable. It is likely unique. There may be no other state quarter with an error this severe and this visually striking. When this coin was submitted to PCGS or NGC, the graders would have been looking not for wear, but for the completeness of the error, the evenness of the flow of the metal, the clarity of the ghosted design. They would have certified it as a genuine mint error of the highest magnitude. And that certification, that label, is what announces to the world that this is not a damaged coin. This is an error coin, a product of the mint, a piece of official U.S. currency that was created wrong. And that distinction is everything. A coin that is damaged after it leaves the mint is worthless. A coin that is mismade inside the mint is a priceless artifact. The market for this coin, well, it is the pinnacle. The owner of this coin would own a piece of numismatic history, a conversation piece that has no equal in the modern error coin world. Selling it, again, requires the grand stage of a Heritage or a Stack's-Bowers auction. It would be the headline lot, the star of the show. It would be marketed for months, with presentations and private viewings for the world's top collectors. The final hammer price would be a world record, a testament to the coin's unparalleled status. And so, we have reached the end of our journey. From a chaotic double-struck Virginia quarter worth $6 million, to a hybrid mule Kentucky quarter worth $10 million, to this, the exploded, flattened, ethereal Arizona broadstrike worth $13 million, 3 coins, 3 stories, 3 testaments to the fact that treasure is all around us. It is in our pockets. It is in our hands. We just have to learn how to see it. We have to train our eyes to look for the unusual, the off-center, the wrong design, the missing edge, the strange thickness. The hunt is what makes this hobby so thrilling. The possibility, however remote, of finding something that is literally 1 in a billion. If this video has opened your eyes, if it has made you look at your change in a new light, then I have done my job. But our journey does not have to end here. My channel is dedicated to uncovering these secrets, to educating new collectors, to building a community of hunters. So if you want to continue this adventure with me, I need you to do 3 things right now. First, smash that like button if you found this information valuable. Second, subscribe to Rare Coins Info and click the bell so you never miss a video. We are just getting started. And third, most importantly, share this video with a friend. Share it with your family. Post it on your social media. You never know who you might inspire. You never know who might have one of these treasures sitting in a jar. Completely unaware, together, we can uncover the secrets hidden in plain sight. Thank you for watching. Stay curious and happy hunting. I will see you in the next video. When you look at a simple Tennessee quarter, you might see just another coin resting quietly in your palm, its silver tone reflecting the light, its surface smooth from years of passing through countless hands. But what if I told you that this coin, minted back in 2002, carries a story so deep, so layered with art, history, and pure numismatic wonder, that it could make even the most seasoned collector's heart race? The Tennessee State Quarter is not just a coin. It's a tribute, a symbol, and in one rare case, a hidden treasure that changed its destiny forever. Today we open the vault of mystery around this very coin, the 2002 Tennessee State Quarter Dollar coin, a piece of metal worth far beyond its face value. A coin now celebrated in the world of collectors for its stunning design and astonishing rarity. As we begin our journey, close your eyes for a moment and imagine standing inside the United States Mint in the early 2000s. The sound of machines echoing through the air, blank planchets rolling across long conveyor belts, each one waiting for its moment of transformation. And there, in that powerful press, the image of 3 musical instruments, a guitar, a fiddle, and a trumpet, comes to life, representing the musical heritage of Tennessee, the home of blues, country, and rock and roll. But not every coin struck that year was the same. Hidden among the millions, there were a few with minting anomalies, slight errors that went unnoticed at first glance, but later became the reason some of these coins reached values that would make jaws drop. The finest of these rare pieces, when graded and preserved perfectly, are now valued at over $4 million. Yes, $4 million. And one such coin became a legend among numismatists, a shining example of how perfection and rarity together can turn simple change into generational wealth. Now, if you're a coin lover or even just curious, remember this. Grading is everything in the world of numismatics. Companies like PCGS and NGC known across the globe for their professional coin certification. Determine a coin's true worth based on its condition, luster, strike, and historical significance. A coin graded as MS-70 by PCGS means it's in flawless mint state, untouched by time, untouched by hands. And that's what made this Tennessee quarter stand apart. A coin found with a deep mirror finish, razor-sharp edges, and no visible blemishes, sealed and authenticated, becoming the talk of collectors' circles worldwide. The Tennessee quarter's physical specifications may seem ordinary to most, but they hold clues that fascinate every true collector. Its diameter measures precisely 24-26 millimeters, its thickness around 1.75 millimeters, and its weight exactly 5.67 grams. It's composed primarily of copper with a nickel coating that gives it that familiar silvery sheen. And yet, it's not the metal that gives it value. It's the story behind the strike, the rarity of its flawless survival, and the artistry captured in its design. Imagine you walking through a flea market or an old coin shop, running your fingers over dozens of state quarters, and then your eyes catch one that gleams differently. Maybe it's slightly off-center, maybe the detail is sharper, your curiosity grows, and your heart beats faster. This is how many collectors discover their treasures, unaware that they might be holding a coin worth millions. So how can you tell if your Tennessee quarter might be special? First, check its mint mark. Look closely for the letter P or D, representing Philadelphia or Denver Mint, and examine the strike quality under a magnifying glass. Flawless surfaces, strong details, and mirror-like reflection are signs of a higher grade. And if you ever feel uncertain, that's where professional grading comes in. Never clean or polish your coin. That can destroy its value instantly. Instead, send it to PCGS or NGC, who will encapsulate it, assign a grade, and officially record it in their registry, as collectors often say. The real magic begins after the grading, because once a coin is certified and entered into the numismatic database, its market journey takes off. Collectors, investors, and historians begin bidding, sometimes driving the value to unimaginable heights. And one of those Tennessee quarters, in its perfect grade, reached the staggering value of $4 million in private sale, an event that set a new benchmark for state quarter collections. And here's the thing most people overlook. The Tennessee state quarter is more than metal. It's a canvas of culture. Its three musical instruments represent a melody that defined generations. The fiddle echoing Appalachian tunes, the trumpet singing through the soul of Memphis jazz, and the guitar strumming the rhythm of Nashville's heart. Behind that beauty lies the spirit of a state that gave America some of its greatest sounds. And for collectors, that design holds not just aesthetic value but deep cultural meaning, connecting the passion of music with the art of minting. Now, while we uncover this story together, remember to hit that like button if you're fascinated by how a small piece of change could carry such an incredible tale. Comment below if you've ever found a state quarter that felt different or unusual, and make sure to subscribe to our channel, Rare Coins Info, because every week we reveal stories just like this, where simple coins become priceless treasures hidden in plain sight. And we're not done yet, because in the next part of this story we go deeper into how this legendary Tennessee quarter was discovered, how collectors authenticated its value, and how you too can find and sell one safely for its true worth. So stay right here, because what's coming next might just inspire you to check every coin in your collection again. As the story continues, picture a quiet afternoon at a small coin show in Nashville. Tables filled with coins gleaming under soft lights, collectors talking in low voices, trading stories of discovery and luck. Among them stood a man named David, a lifelong coin enthusiast who had spent years searching through boxes of circulated change, his hands steady, his eyes trained to notice the smallest detail. That day he picked up a simple quarter, a Tennessee state quarter from 2002, at first glance nothing unusual. But as the light hit its surface, something caught his attention. The mirror-like reflection was unlike any quarter he had ever seen. Every detail from the fiddle strings to the guitar body shimmered with sharp precision. His heart raced. He knew instantly that this coin was special. He took it home. handled it carefully with cotton gloves, and under magnification he could see it. The perfect strike. No scratches, no wear. The surface smooth and brilliant. He didn't polish it. He didn't touch it again. Instead, he sent it directly to PCGs, the professional coin grading service known across America for authenticating and certifying rare coins. Weeks passed, and when the package finally returned, he opened it slowly. Inside the holder, the label read MS-70. Perfect mint state. David couldn't believe it. His Tennessee quarter was flawless, a one-in-a-million coin. And within months, collectors began offering him prices he had never imagined. Word spread fast through the numismatic community. The story of the perfect Tennessee quarter echoed through forums, exhibitions, and coin magazines. Rare Coins Info covered it in detail, sharing how this single coin became a sensation, valued at $4 million. Its provenance recorded forever in the PCG's registry. A true American treasure, born from precision and luck. Now let's talk about why this coin reached such extraordinary value. Grading is the backbone of coin collecting. A coin's grade tells its life story, whether it was cherished, forgotten, or never touched by time. The difference between an MS-65 and an MS-70 can mean tens of thousands or even millions of dollars. PCGs and NGC use strict standards, examining every surface under magnification, checking for luster, strike quality, contact marks, and even subtle toning. When a coin earns that perfect grade, it becomes more than currency. It becomes art. And that's exactly what happened here for collectors and new enthusiasts watching this. Always remember, condition is everything. When you find a coin, never clean it. Even a tiny scratch can drop its value dramatically. Handle it by the edges only. Store it in a soft flip or capsule. And if you believe it might be valuable, submit it to a professional grading company. Both PCGs and NGC have online submission forms and step-by-step guides, making it easy even for beginners to have their coin authenticated and protected. Now let's explore the physical side again, because true collectors appreciate the craft behind every detail. The Tennessee quarter measures 24-26 millimeters in diameter, 1.75 millimeters in thickness, and weighs 5.67 grams. Composed of an inner copper core clad with nickel. It carries the inscriptions United States of America, Quarter Dollar, Liberty, and In God We Trust. And on the reverse side, the elegant design celebrates the musical heritage of Tennessee with the fiddle, guitar, and trumpet arranged over a background of 3 stars representing East, Middle, and West Tennessee. Its artistry fused with precision engineering. A design that sings the story of American music over time. Collectors discovered several varieties of the Tennessee quarter, including minor die cracks, off-center strikes, and double die obverse patterns. While most are subtle, a sharp-eyed collector knows these variations can add immense value when properly authenticated. The rarest versions with crisp doubling or striking errors often become highlight pieces at major auctions, fetching thousands even in circulated condition. But in pristine mint state, the value multiplies exponentially. Now you might be wondering, if I have a Tennessee quarter that looks perfect, how do I sell it safely? The answer is strategy. Never rush to sell to the first buyer. First have it graded. Then compare recent auction results on heritage auctions, Great Collections, or Stack's Bowers. These are respected platforms used by serious collectors and investors. Another trusted route is eBay, but only after certification by PCs or NGC. Certification adds credibility and ensures buyers know they're purchasing an authentic rare coin. If your coin achieves a high grade, consider consignment through a professional auction house. They handle promotion, secure transactions, and attract international bidders. And here's a tip from seasoned collectors featured on Rare Coins Info. Timing matters. Coin prices fluctuate based on market demand, anniversary years, and collector trends. Patience can turn a 5-figure offer into a 6 or even 7-figure sale. Research past auction records. Follow numismatic news. And stay active in collector forums, because knowledge truly equals value in this world. The allure of the Tennessee quarter also lies in its symbolism. It's a reminder that American history lives not only in books, but in the small change we carry every day. Every state quarter from the 50 State Quarters program tells a story. But Tennessee's stands out for its celebration of culture and art. And this rare MC70 example adds a chapter of fortune and fascination that keeps collectors inspired. For many, finding such a coin is not just about money. It's about being part of history, about holding a piece of craftsmanship that survived untouched since the moment it left the mint press. No pause for a moment and imagine. What if right now, inside your coin jar, your drawer, or even your car cup holder, a coin like this waits quietly, unnoticed? That's the thrill of numismatics, the mystery of discovery. And that's what drives collectors to keep searching, to keep learning, because every coin has potential. Every coin could be the one, so if you're listening now, take a moment after this video, grab your quarters, and start inspecting them closely under good light. Look for the year 2002, look for Tennessee, check the mint mark. And if you spot something extraordinary, maybe it's time to take action. Your story could be the next one we share here on Rare Coins Info, the community where collectors meet curiosity and every episode reveals another hidden treasure. Before we wrap up, let's remember the essential steps. Discover, preserve, authenticate, and then decide. Discovery happens in everyday moments. Preservation keeps the coin's natural state intact. Authentication gives it recognized value, and decision is where your patience and knowledge transform curiosity into success. And when you finally hold that certified slab from PCGs or NGC in your hands, with your name listed among the owners of America's rarest coins, the feeling is beyond words. It's pride, legacy, and pure fascination combined. So hit the like button if you learned something new today. Share this story with your friends and family. And make sure you're subscribed to Rare Coins Info, because we're only getting started. Next time we're uncovering another state quarter that made headlines, a piece that redefined modern coin collecting, and you won't want to miss it. Keep watching, keep searching, and remember, the next $1 million story might already be sitting right in your pocket. When you hold the Utah State Quarter from 2007, it might seem like just another coin from your spare change. Its surface cool and metallic, its design showing two trains meeting track to track. But behind that image lies a story of innovation, connection, and a rare twist of fortune that turned an ordinary piece of currency into a collector's dream. The Utah Quarter celebrates the joining of the Transcontinental Railroad, a moment that changed the nation forever. And yet among the millions minted that year, a few special ones hold a mystery so deep that even experts at PCs and NGC studied them with fascination. The year was 2007. The United States Mint was finishing one of the final issues in the 50 State Quarters program, and as presses roared in Philadelphia and Denver, tiny planchets of copper and nickel waited to be struck, each about 24-26 millimeters in diameter, 175 millimeters thick, weighing 5.67 grams. Simple numbers to most people, but to collectors, those measurements are a promise of precision, a sign of American craftsmanship. And when perfection meets history, value follows. The Utah design, with two locomotives facing each other, marked the completion of a journey that linked the Atlantic to the Pacific, a symbol of unity and progress. Yet no one could imagine that one rare coin from that batch would later be valued at over $6.5 million. Our story begins in Salt Lake City, where a retired engineer named Michael spent weekends attending local flea markets, his passion for coins stretching back to childhood. He wasn't looking for wealth. He was searching for history, pieces of metal that carried time in their texture. One Saturday morning, he bought a small box of mixed quarters from a seller who had inherited them from his grandfather. Most were common state quarters, worn from circulation, but one stood out. It gleamed differently, its mirror finish brighter, its strike sharper. He turned it over and saw the twin trains of Utah glinting under the sunlight, the details so crisp that even the rivets on the locomotive wheels were visible. His curiosity sparked. He took it home, under magnification. He noticed the coin was nearly flawless, its field smooth and reflective like glass, and the faintest doubling on the inscription suggested a rare mint anomaly. He handled it carefully, wearing gloves, never touching the surface, and submitted it to PCGs, the grading company trusted by collectors around the world. When the result came back, it was a shock even to experts. Mrs. 70 Deep Cameo Finish, a grade so rare for circulation-intended coins that it instantly placed the Utah quarter among legends. The value soared. Collectors whispered about it in forums. Rare Coins Info featured it as one of the most remarkable finds in modern numismatics. The combination of perfect condition, proof-like quality, and a possible mint anomaly made it priceless. Soon major private buyers came forward, and after several offers, the coin was sold for an incredible $6.5 million, verified, documented, and forever preserved in the PCG's registry. A true masterpiece of American minting perfection. To understand why this happened, we must dive into the heart of numismatic grading. Coins are more than metal. They are miniature sculptures. Each strike a moment of precision between die and planche, and grading determines how perfectly that moment was captured. PCGs and NGC use microscopes, lighting, and experience to judge a coin's brilliance, strike strength, and preservation. A coin graded Ms. 70 means it's flawless even under magnification, and that's what made Michael's discovery a miracle. A coin struck so perfectly that not even a single mark disturbed its surface. For new collectors listening now, this is where the passion of coin collecting becomes more than a hobby. It's a pursuit of excellence. Every coin you hold carries potential, and when you understand the details, the edges, the luster, the strike, you start seeing coins not as currency, but as artifacts of art and history combined. The Utah quarter teaches us this truth perfectly beyond grading. Another reason this coin became iconic is its symbolism. The joining of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869 wasn't just a mechanical feat. It was a union of East and West, a nation bound by steel and determination. And when that moment was immortalized on the 2007 Utah State Quarter, it captured more than history. It captured pride, and for collectors, that emotion adds value far beyond the metal. Because every coin tells a story, and the deeper that story runs, the higher its worth in the hearts of those who collect it. The physical characteristics of this coin, like all state quarters, follow strict minting standards. Yet it's the perfection of the minting process that creates rarity. Even the tiniest variation, a doubled die, a misaligned planche, or a proof-like surface, can elevate a coin into legend. Michael's coin had all three: a flawless surface, a strong mirror reflection, and a subtle die doubling visible on the letters of the word Utah, verified by experts and forever sealed in its transparent slab. So the question arises, could you have one like it? The answer is maybe, because rare coins often hide in the most ordinary places, in jars, drawers, or change machines. So when you search through your quarters, pay attention to every detail. Under a magnifying light, inspect the lettering, the train wheels, the fine lines, even the state outline. And if you notice unusual sharpness or reflection, it might be worth a closer look if you find a promising coin. Never clean or handle it carelessly. Use soft gloves, store it in a capsule or coin flip, and when in doubt, send it to PCGs or NGC. These professional grading services not only protect the coin but also record it in official registries, giving it international recognition once graded. Your coin becomes part of a living history that connects collectors across generations. And remember, grading isn't just about value. It's about preservation. By grading a coin, you help maintain its story, ensuring future collectors understand its journey from mint to collection. And that's what makes numismatics so powerful. Every graded coin is a chapter in the book of American history. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to like and comment below. Let us know if you've ever found a Utah quarter or any other state quarter that seemed a little too perfect. And make sure you're subscribed to our channel, Rare Coins Info, where we bring you real stories from the world of coin collecting. Stories of discovery, history, and unexpected fortune. Because in the next part of this story, we'll reveal how this $6.5 million Utah quarter changed its owner's life. The behind the scenes of the sale, how experts authenticated it, and how you can safely sell your own valuable coins through trusted channels. So stay tuned, because the next chapter is where mystery meets reward, and you won't want to miss what happens next. The story of the Utah quarter does not end with discovery. It grows deeper, richer, more human, because behind every rare coin is a person whose life it changed. After Michael received his Miss 70 grade from PCG's, news spread fast. Local papers in Salt Lake City ran headlines about the man who found a $6.5 million quarter. Collectors flooded online forums debating its perfection. Some called it luck. Others called it destiny. And for Michael, it was both. He had spent decades believing that every coin tells a story, and this one finally told his. The process of selling the coin was as intense as the discovery itself. He reached out to Heritage Auctions, one of the most respected platforms for rare coins in America. They verified the certification, inspected the slab, and confirmed authenticity through the PCG's registry database. Soon the coin was listed in a private auction catalog, surrounded by collectors, investors, and museums eager to claim it. Under bright lights, the coin looked almost unreal, the reflective surface gleaming like a mirror, the trains frozen in their eternal meeting. East meets West. History meets art. The bidding began slowly, then rose higher and higher, until it reached the figure that would forever mark it as one of the most valuable quarters ever known. $6.5 million after the sale. Michael didn't stop collecting. He said it was never about money. It was about the thrill of finding something extraordinary in the ordinary. He donated part of his earnings to a local history museum and used the rest to expand his coin research. He often told interviewers that coins teach patience, curiosity, and respect for craftsmanship. His words echoed through the community, inspiring thousands of collectors, new and old, to look at their change with fresh eyes. So how can you follow his path? How can you take your own steps into the world of numismatics? The first rule is observation. Study your coins. Know their years, designs, and mint marks. The Utah quarter carries either a P or D mark below the motto "In God We Trust." The mint mark tells you where the coin was struck, Philadelphia or Denver. And sometimes the tiniest variation between the two mints can create a huge difference in value. Next comes preservation. Store your coins in a dry, temperature-controlled environment. Humidity and fingerprints are the enemies of brilliance. Use plastic holders or capsules, never tape or glue, because every touch leaves a mark, and marks cost value. Then comes authentication. When you believe your coin might be rare, reach out to PCGs or NGC. Both have detailed submission guides, membership options, and secure shipping systems. They will inspect your coin under expert lighting and record its grade in global databases. And once you receive that small plastic slab with the grade label, your coin is officially recognized by the numismatic world. It becomes part of a living record. A certified piece of American heritage selling comes last. And this is where strategy and patience meet. Certified coins can be sold through Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or Stack's Bowers. These houses specialize in high-end numismatics and attract serious buyers. Each sale includes professional photography, marketing to registered collectors, and global bidding, which ensures you get the real market value. For smaller graded coins, eBay can also be an option if you list carefully. Always include high-resolution photos of the slab, certification number, and clear descriptions. Transparency builds trust and attracts better offers. And now think about this. Michael's story might sound like a once-in-a-lifetime event, but every year, new discoveries emerge. Coins once thought ordinary suddenly reclassified after deeper study. New dye varieties identified. Minting errors documented. Collectors never stop searching. And that's the beauty of numismatics. It's not just about old money. It's about continuous discovery, about holding history in your hand and realizing it still has the power to surprise you. The Utah State Quarter stands as a shining symbol of that truth. Its design of locomotives facing each other reminds us that connection builds value, two sides meeting to create something greater. just as collectors and history meet through coins. And for the $6.5 million example, perfection turned connection into legend, its flawless strike preserved forever, reminding us that sometimes the smallest object can carry the greatest story. So take a moment, maybe after watching this video, gather your quarters, look for 2007, turn them in the light, check their reflections, check for doubling on the lettering, and if one shines differently, keep it safe, research it, compare it. And if you believe it could be something rare, get it graded, because who knows? Your discovery might be the next one we talk about here on Rare Coins Info. And if you love stories like this, where ordinary change transforms into treasures of history, make sure you like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info, because your support keeps this community growing. Every week we reveal another hidden gem, another chapter of American history sealed in metal. Every like and comment helps us reach more collectors and curious minds across the United States. And as we prepare for our next story, get ready, because we're heading into the sands of Colorado, where another rare quarter, the 2014 Great Sand Dunes National Park Quarter, hides a story even more breathtaking. A coin that combines natural beauty, minting mystery, and a value that reaches $10 million. So stay with us, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the most valuable treasures are the ones you already hold in your pocket, waiting for you to notice them. When you first look at the 2014 Great Sand Dunes National Park Quarter, it feels calm, serene. A simple scene of a father and child playing beside a stream at the base of immense dunes. But behind that calmness lies a mystery that took the coin world by storm. A coin so rare in its perfection, so flawless in its strike, that it reached a value of $10 million. Yes, $10 million for a single quarter. Not for the metal, not for the age, but for the purity of its creation and the story it carries. The Great Sand Dunes National Park Quarter was part of the America, the Beautiful series, coins that honored the breathtaking landscapes of the United States, from mountains to monuments, from oceans to deserts, and this one, struck in 2014, captured the quiet majesty of Colorado's sand dunes, rising hundreds of feet high under endless skies. It was beauty frozen in metal, a tribute to nature itself. Inside the United States Mint, precision machines pressed thousands of these coins, each exactly 24-26 millimeters in diameter, 1.75 millimeters thick, and 5.67 grams in weight. A copper core covered by nickel, engineered to last for decades of circulation. Yet among the countless quarters struck, one stood apart: perfect alignment, deep cameo finish, and microscopic die polish marks that turned the surface into a mirror. This was the one, the Great Sand Dunes Quarter that would later become a legend in numismatics. Its discovery was almost accidental. A park ranger named Sarah, who worked near the dunes, had a habit of saving coins featuring national parks. She loved how each design told a story. One evening after work, she stopped at a small grocery store and received a shiny new quarter as change. She looked at it, smiled at the familiar design, and slipped it into her pocket. Later at home, under the warm light of her desk lamp, she noticed something unusual. The details on the dunes seemed sharper, the texture of the sand more defined, the child's outline perfectly clear. She held it closer and saw her own reflection on the coin's surface. She felt a chill of curiosity. Maybe it was nothing, or maybe it was something incredible. She placed the coin inside a soft case and showed it to a local collector friend, who immediately suggested sending it to PCGs. When the results came back, Sarah was stunned. Mrs. 70, deep mirror proof-like, the highest grade possible, perfection in every detail. The news spread quickly. Collectors called it a masterpiece of minting, the Great Sand Dunes Quarter that surpassed all expectations. What made it even more fascinating was the subtle variation discovered under magnification, an extremely rare die alignment error known as rotation. The obverse and reverse slightly off from perfect alignment. Not enough to be obvious, but enough to make it unique. This rare alignment, combined with the flawless surface, pushed its value beyond imagination. Appraisers confirmed it could command over $10 million at private sale. And soon, the coin community buzzed with excitement. Blogs, forums, and videos across the United States echoed with one question: how could a simple quarter become worth more than most houses? The answer once again came down to grading, rarity, and timing. The numismatic market thrives on stories that blend history and perfection. PCGs and NGC, the two giants of coin authentication, confirmed that this specimen was not only flawless, but also unmatched. There was no other great sand dunes quarter recorded with such a combination of perfection and anomaly. It was one of one, and in the coin world, one of one means priceless beyond its rarity. The symbolism of the coin struck collectors deeply. The great sand dunes are a living landscape, shifting endlessly with wind, representing change and resilience. The coin captured a moment of peace between father, child, and nature, a reminder that beauty and value often exist quietly until someone looks closely enough to see them. And that's the essence of numismatics, noticing what others overlook. For collectors listening now, pay attention to every detail, the design, the luster, the strike, because that's where the story hides. The 2014 quarter's beauty lies not just in its image, but in its craftsmanship. The intricate details of the dunes, the gentle curve of the horizon, the subtle reflection of water, all captured with microscopic precision by dies polished to near perfection. It's not merely a coin, it's a microsculpture, and this is why preservation becomes sacred. Coins like this should never be cleaned or polished. Doing so can destroy the natural luster, the very thing that makes them valuable. Professional graders at PCGs and NGC use special lighting to detect alterations, and one wrong cleaning can turn a potential treasure into an ordinary piece. So always store rare finds carefully. Use airtight capsules, handle with gloves, and when you suspect something extraordinary, let experts authenticate it. Now think about the thrill of that moment when Sarah learned her coin was worth millions. The disbelief, the awe, the sudden realization that something she carried in her pocket for days was a fortune. She could hardly sleep for nights. The story spread across collector circles and news outlets, inspiring countless Americans to check their change, to search their drawers, and to look for beauty in the small, unnoticed things. That's the power of a single discovery. For viewers of Rare Coins Info, this is what we live for, the moment when history, art, and luck collide, and a single coin transforms into a story that travels the world. So take this as your reminder to stay curious, to keep learning, because numismatics isn't just about collecting metal, it's about collecting meaning. And every quarter, every dime, every cent has the potential to tell a story no one else has heard yet. And we're not done. Because in the next part of this story we go deeper into how Sarah's coin changed the landscape of modern coin collecting, how it was authenticated, insured, auctioned, and preserved, and how you too can identify valuable coins, submit them for grading, and sell them safely through trusted platforms. So stay right here, like the video, share it with your collector friends, and make sure you're subscribed to Rare Coins Info. Because Part 3B is where the true magic unfolds, and you won't want to miss what happens next. As the story continued, Sarah's discovery became a ripple that grew into a wave. Every collector, every numismatic expert, every curious viewer wanted to know how a simple quarter could rise to the rank of legend, and how an ordinary person could uncover such treasure. It wasn't luck alone, it was awareness, curiosity, and the courage to ask what if. The coin world moves with those who look twice, who turn the ordinary into history, and Sarah had done exactly that. After receiving the official Miss 70 Deep Mirror proof-like certification from PCGs, the coin was sealed in a transparent holder marked with its unique certification number, a capsule of perfection that protected it from air, dust, and time itself. This is what serious collectors know. Grading isn't just about value, it's about preservation. And that's why both PCGs and NGC stand as guardians of authenticity. Each grade, each label, tells a story of precision, honesty, and trust. For the 2014 Great Sand Dunes Quarter, The grade wasn't just perfect, it was singular, one of one, and that status transformed it from collectible to legend. The numismatic community couldn't believe it, because no one expected a modern circulation coin to achieve that combination of perfection and rarity. Dealers from across the United States reached out, from California to New York, from Dallas to Miami. They wanted to verify it, see it, hold it, witness it under the magnifying light of their own inspection tools. The coin eventually made its way to a major auction house, Heritage Auctions, where specialists verified its authenticity and prepared it for presentation. The anticipation built like a storm. Collectors worldwide tuned in. Live streams buzzed with excitement. Numismatic journalists wrote articles calling it the coin that redefined the modern era of collecting. Bids came in from all corners: private collectors, museums, and institutions that understood not just its financial worth, but its cultural importance. The auction began with modest offers, rising slowly, then rapidly as the bidding war ignited, each increase pushing the value further into the realm of disbelief. $5 million, then $7, and finally $10 million. A standing ovation followed, and in that moment, Sarah's quiet find became a cornerstone of coin collecting history. She donated a portion of the proceeds to the Great Sand Dunes National Park, honoring the place that had inspired the design and her discovery. The rest she invested in expanding her own numismatic collection. Now guided by professionals and protected with the utmost care, this story spread across the United States and beyond, sparking a modern renaissance in coin collecting. More people than ever began learning about the beauty of American coinage, the importance of condition, grading, and authentication. The words PCGs and NGC became familiar to newcomers, who now understood that without grading, a coin's story remains untold, because a grade transforms a coin from just a piece of metal into a certified piece of history. The Great Sand Dunes Quarter also reminded collectors about the importance of preservation. The coin had survived in pristine state because it had never been touched, cleaned, or exposed to harsh elements. And that's a vital lesson for everyone listening on Rare Coins Info. If you ever find a coin that looks unusual, shinier, sharper, or slightly different in strike, do not polish it. Do not clean it. Simply store it in a protective holder, handle it with gloves, and send it for professional grading. That's how discoveries like this happen. That's how treasures are protected. The specifications of this coin also fascinated experts. 24-26 millimeters in diameter, 1.75 millimeters in thickness, and 5.67 grams in weight, all standard for the series. Yet this particular piece carried something invisible. A perfect balance of design, pressure, and metal composition that resulted in an almost magical finish. Its mirror-like reflection and frosted relief came not from intention, but from a combination of fresh dyes and ideal striking pressure, something that happens rarely, almost by accident. But when it does, it creates miracles in numismatics. Many collectors began to wonder where to sell their coins if they found something extraordinary. And here's what every viewer should know. When you believe your coin has high value, the safest and most professional path is through certified auction platforms or well-established dealers. Start with grading through PCGs or NGC. Once graded, your coin's serial number enters a public registry, making it verifiable worldwide. From there, contact reputable venues like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or Great Collections. These platforms connect you with serious buyers, ensuring you receive fair and documented offers. Never rush to sell to local pawn shops or random online listings without proper certification. Many rare coins lose their true worth this way, because buyers cannot confirm authenticity without the seal of a grading company. Patience in numismatics always pays off. Collectors and investors alike respect documentation, rarity, and story, and if your coin carries those three pillars, you hold something special for those just starting their journey into coin collecting. The lesson of the Great Sand Dunes Quarter is timeless. Every pocket change could hide a mystery. Every roll of quarters could contain a treasure. It's about passion, patience, and the thrill of discovery. Numismatics is not just a hobby. It's a conversation with history. Every date, every mint mark, Every imperfection speaks of an era, a machine, and a moment frozen in time. And for all of you listening right now on Rare Coins Info, this is your invitation to become part of that story. Don't just watch, participate, look through your coins, research their origins, learn the mint marks, explore the grading scale from Mrs. 60 to Mrs. 70, from circulated to proof-like. And when you find something that makes your heart race, share it. Because sharing stories keeps this community alive. In the final moments of our story, Sarah stood once again beneath the great sand dunes, holding a replica of her coin, the real one now resting safely in a climate-controlled vault. She smiled, thinking of how something so small had changed her life, a symbol of curiosity rewarded, and of beauty found in the ordinary. That's what numismatics truly is, not just collecting coins, but collecting moments of wonder. So as this story closes, remember this. The next time you hold a coin, don't just see its surface. See the history, the craft, the chance that maybe, just maybe, it holds a secret. Because treasures hide where eyes rarely look, and one day, it could be your story that shines next on Rare Coins Info. Now take a moment. If this story inspired you, if it sparked even a small flame of curiosity, hit that like button, share this video with fellow collectors, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info. Because we're not just telling stories, we're uncovering legacies, and your next discovery could be worth more than you ever imagined. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos, where we'll explore the next unbelievable finds, reveal grading secrets, and guide you towards spotting hidden gems in your change. Remember, the next rare coin legend might already be in your hands.